If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the Smart Way to Buy.com studios.
New York state of mind.
Are you back in the groove? Mike, you back in the groove, Mike, after your smash down to Texas?
Hey, it went pretty well. I've got some video. I got a video link for you.
I gotta see
to critique it.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, now it's highly copyrighted, just for your review only.
I saw in your eyes when you were playing Nicely in Guys and Dolls down in Dallas, and I know that. And people think, oh, you're traveling around the country. Theater around the country is huge at these beautiful theaters. I've had the glory of doing the North American tour of Greece, cast of 30. And it's exhausting. You got to do those matinees.
It's hard work.
No, I love it, but I saw in your eyes the disease. You have love of stage.
Yes and no. But you know what my problem is? And I was talking to an actor buddy of mine last night and his wife. I've got it for one show. And then after one show, I'm done. If I could figure out a way, the long runs, I mean, I don't know how, you know how hard that is. I'm not kidding you. This was a short run. We did like 5 or 6 shows.
Yeah.
By the 4th show, I was so tired of it. I just I want to go home.
But see, you're enough of a thespian to realize that you look, when you start, and you have a 3-month run, and that's a short run for Broadway.
That's hard.
You look, you track the months, and you go, if I make it here, because I'm the hardest working people in the world. That's why, by the way, when Bobby De Niro says what he did, and listen, I have such immense respect for Bobby De Niro, especially as an Italian-American. I don't know that there's a greater actor on the planet than De Niro.
Agreed.
But for him to be in that arena, it was then one of the great arenas of entertainment. The hardest working people really are the Broadway entertainers. There was that community, and he just took it and went, no, Bobby, don't do that.
Your reaction was so spot on, and I was so grateful for somebody of your stature in the entertainment industry to call him out on that the way you did, because like you, I want people around the country to love these folks on the stage.
That's right.
I want them to patronize theater. I love the arts. I love theater. Now, I had fun doing this role, but I'd much rather be in the audience, and I support Broadway and off Broadway. I go to theater 2-3 times a week, and I want people to appreciate them. And when that room full of people in Radio City Music Hall cheered at F Trump, it's like you guys just lost maybe 30% of your potential gross for 2019.
You know what's great, too? It's great, though, that we have that the people that believe in this country, and that's what it is. It's not pro-Trump. It's not pro-anything. It's just being patriots. We have the power to bring, literally, the NFL to its knees, and not during the national anthem.
Oh, no question.
All of a sudden, you know what? We're not going to kneel anymore. It's because people stayed home. They will stay home from Broadway.
It's not a good business decision.
That's
these
exactly
guys,
right.
Robert De Niro,
he doesn't need the money.
He's at a point where he doesn't care. I mean, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need the money, but he's not thinking about the hardworking, struggling young actor on Broadway who's making $1,800, $1,900 a week, which is, for a young kid, great, but they're hanging on to that gig.
Yeah.
And if the show doesn't sell well, then they're out of a job. And people don't go, they're going to lose their gig.
They think the elitists, the overeducated elitists, and a lot of people in the entertainment industry, they think that we are the people, the rest of the country. And listen, we're New York. I mean, you're a New Yorker now, man, and we're not dumb. We're not stupid. What's happening when I watch Christopher Ray and I watch Horowitz, the IG, and they're talking about this collusion, and I can't get over the fact when they mentioned Rudy Giuliani, they're so afraid of Rudolph Giuliani. Why? Because they know something's wrong. They say, reasonable people know that there's collusion and that there was no political motive to what James Comey did. Are they kidding me? We know.
Here's a headline from today's CNN. This sums it all up. Headline: Donald Trump is as popular as he's ever been, parentheses, in one poll. In other words, they can't stand the fact that the supposed gold standard, Gallup, has him at the highest approval rating.
That's a Gallup poll?
It's Gallup. 45% of Americans approve
poll.
of the job. But they say Chris Cillizza at CNN, who hates Trump with the heat of 1,000 suns. Listen, look at where we are right now with this immigration debate. Now, everybody's front page of the Daily News, the Post, the families being torn apart. And we all get it. We don't like hearing the audio. Nobody likes the idea of families. But you know what we also don't like? We don't like the idea of mothers and fathers risking their kids' lives by either sending them from Central America by themselves into the United States, a perilous, often fatal journey. We don't like that either. But I don't hear anybody on the left or the Trump haters, commiserating about that right now. Here's where we are, Joe, and I can translate this. It's real simple. I watched them last night. I watched hours of television. The people who are condemning Trump over this and the policy, the so-called policy, their position is clear. They don't like the law being enforced across the board. Now, Trump's position is we ought to enforce the law across the board. That is literally where we are. Trump's evil because the Trump administration and our policy means you enforce the law across the board. In other words, you're not catch and release. Yeah. You're not picking and choosing. You're not saying, oh, you get to go home or you get to come into the United States. You're saying you cross the border illegally, we're going to prosecute you. Now, that's what the man campaigned on. That's what he won on, and that's what the American people expect. And I'm telling you, all this outrage, I've never seen. We are down the rabbit hole, Joe. I've never seen. This has united the never-Trumpers and the Democrats. Now, why do you think that is? All these never-Trumpers are all taking the moral high road now. All the Democrats, they're suddenly, they ain't worried about abortion. You don't hear Democrats wailing about late-term abortions or having, sex selection abortions. That's okay with them. They don't care about those crying babies. But ProPublica comes out with this audio of Mama, Daddy, and now all of a sudden these folks are Mother Teresa. And it's going to be up to the American people, Joe. Here's what it comes down to: whether the American people are going to buy this or not.
But we don't. And I said about this yesterday. I opened the show with it yesterday. This narrative, I feel like I have to translate on the radio.
You have to translate.
You do that. The open of your show.
You have to.
10 o'clock with Mike Gallagher on AM 970. The Answer. You do the same thing. You've got to translate. Say whoa. It's scary though,
Here's
Mike.
Where we are.
They take the narrative, and then they almost make up. It's almost like when you say fake news. It's almost exactly what it is.
You go out here go walk out here on Broadway. I don't care where you are, anywhere in the country. You take a poll and just say, would you expect a government to enforce the laws across the board? Or do you think there ought to be a lot of exceptions made, especially on the issue of immigration?
What about the million or so? Frankie and I were talking about million or so homeless children. The million or so homeless children who can't have breakfast.
They don't care.
What about the inner cities?
They don't say a word.
What about the children being killed in the inner cities across in Chicago alone?
Listen, in May, I'm so proud of the fact that my listeners donated over $200,000 to sponsor the sons and daughters of prisoners to go to prison camp. It's called the Prison Fellowship Ministry, and we were blown away. $200,000 my listeners gave to send a kid. It cost $200 to send the son or a daughter of an American prisoner. These are kids who don't have. Now, but God bless our audience. God bless your audience. A bunch of Joe Piscopo listeners who gave to that. Now, you don't think we care about the sons and daughters? Do you think those families are broken apart? You don't hear anybody complaining about those families being torn apart. You got somebody in prison. You got a kid who's home, whose life has been turned upside down. And many, many people with big hearts helping these kids, sending them to summer camp. Phil Boyce and I are going to try to figure out. Our buddy Joe Battaglia was the agency behind all that. We're going to try to find one of these camps. We think there's one in Connecticut where we can go meet some of these kids and talk to some of these kids who are benefiting from the summer camp.
Look at that.
And they're going to...
Look at the compassion. The compassion of this man.
But we do care. But Americans are compassionate. Right. Don't stop it. When you condemn the Trump administration for enforcing the law, guess who you're condemning? These 45% of Americans who believe that this president is doing the right thing and this country's headed in the right direction. Like you said, keep translating, my buddy, my brother, because you got to translate.
We're following your lead, Mike Gallagher. Mike Gallagher on at 10 o'clock. Listen, we're going to do a limited run Broadway show. You, me, Arthur Idala. We should all be in this.
I'm going to send you the link.
Come on.
Now you got to be fair. You got to. I had a friend, Eric Hansen, said, "Wow, this looked like a great production." And I read that as saying he thinks I stunk. He didn't say you did a good job. That's like when you say, "Well, the lighting, the lights are so good. What costumes!"
You had fun, huh?
I'm going to send you I'll send you the link. It's just a YouTube. Got to keep it just to yourself. Though. You can't post it anywhere.
I won't.
Of me doing Fugue for Tin Horns, Guys and Dolls, and of course, Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat. And then Arthur Idala has to see it because he's going to compare.
Yes.
Because he was nicely when he was in school. Dueling nicely.
All right, Mike Gallagher will be listening. God bless you. Thanks for coming by live there. Mike Gallagher right there, 8:49 right now. Mike's coming up at 10 o'clock. You don't want to miss the great Gallagher on AM 970. The Answer at 10 o'clock.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.